Hello students, let us start our new session of chapter number 3, motion in a straight line. Here, let us discuss the new topic, kinematic equations for uniformly accelerated motion. While object is moving with the uniform acceleration, we have derived the equation in earlier session that v equal to v0 plus at. This gives the relation between initial velocity v0, final velocity v, and with object moving with uniform acceleration a. So here, if we find the area under this curve, as we can see in the diagram, we have defined that uniformly accelerated motion equation v equal to v0 plus at in the diagram. So here, let us take initial velocity v0, which is defined in the graph onto the y-axis OA. From that v0, positive acceleration is available as velocity of an object is increasing. Let us take the final velocity v onto the y-axis, which is denoted onto the graph as a b. Here the rising of the velocity defines the positive acceleration. Now, as by plotting that equation in the graph, we can define the graphical representation by a triangular and a rectangular shape. Now let us derive the area under this curve and be able to get a displacement. So while we discuss for the area under this curve, we can divide the area in two parts. One triangle ABC and another shape we able to get a rectangle shape O, A, C and D. So area under the triangular ABC that we are having 1/2 AB 1/2 AC into BC. So AC, that is a T, and BC, that is a difference of velocity v minus v0. So that is 1/2 BC into AC, that is a v minus v0 into T. And area of a rectangle OACD, that is OA into OD. OA is initial velocity v0 into OD, that is time t. So the final equation, the area under the curve, we are having 1/2 v minus v0 into t plus v0 into t. So here the area under this curve represents the displacement, that is x. So x equal to 1/2 v minus v0 into t plus v0 t. But we are having from that earlier equation v equal to v0 plus at. From that, let us rewrite that equation v minus v0 equal to at. So at the place of v minus v0, place at. So we are having equation x equal to 1/2 at square plus v0 t. Now that 3.7 equation we also can rewrite in terms of v plus v0 by 2 into t, that is v average of velocity into t. That is a constant acceleration. Now from that above equation, t equals that v equal to v0 plus at. From that make the subject of formula time t. So it would be t equal to v minus v0 by a. And let us substitute in above equation. So we able to get x equal to v plus v0 by 2 into v minus v0 by a. So we are having equation v square minus v0 square by 2a. Rewrite that equation. So we are having v square equal to v0 square plus 2ax. So here we are having three important equations. V equal to V0 plus AT. Second, with equation which we have derived, x equal to V0t plus 1 half AT square. Another equation which we have derived, that is V square equal to V0 square plus 2ax. So here these equations were obtained by assuming that initial time t equal to 0 at the position of particle x equal to 0. Let us make these equations more general. If we take the position coordinate time t equal to 0 with x non-zero value. So instead of x, let us replace x minus x0 in the above three equations. So these equations can be rewrite v equal to v0 plus at, x minus x0 equal to v0 t plus 1 half at square. So that is x equal to x0 plus v0 t plus 1 half at square. And v square equal to v0 square plus 2a x minus x0. These three equations are known as kinematic equations for uniform acceleration motion. These three equations are very important. From the base of three equations, any examples can be asked in exam. Let us discuss some of the examples regarding these equations. First example, obtain equations of motion for constant acceleration using method of calculus. So here we need to obtain the equation of motion for constant acceleration. We are having that acceleration equation instant value a equal to dv by dt. So dv equal to a dt. Integrate both this side. So that would be integration of dv with the limit v0 to v equal to integration of a with respect to time within the limit 0 to t. As we are defining constant acceleration, so let us take it common outside of the integration. So it would be a 0 to t dt. By placing the values, it would be, and applying its limit, the equation can be v minus v0 equal to at. So here we are having the equation v equal to v0 plus at. Now as acceleration equal to differentiation of velocity with respect to time, likewise we can say that velocity equal to differentiation of position with respect to time. So that would be v equal to dx by dt. So dx equal to v into dt. Again let us integrate from at both this side with respect to the differentiating limit. So differentiation of 1 with respect to dx within the limit x0 to x equal to differentiation of velocity v with respect to time within the limit 0 to t. And as we are having v equal to v0 plus at, which we have derived in the above equation, let us place v equal to v0 plus at within the time limit and apply, after integration, apply the limit. So we are having the equation x minus x0 equal to v0t plus 1 half at square. So it would be x equal to x0 plus v0t plus 1 half at square. Now as a equal to dv by dt, so we can write that dv by dx into dx by dt. Dx by dt equal to v. So that is v into dv by dx. So we can rewrite that equation a into dx equal to v into dv. Now integrate this equation both the side. Integrate v with respect to dv by applying its limit v0 to v, and integrate a with respect to x, that is dx, by applying its limit x0 to x. Integrate both the side and apply the limit, so it would be v square minus v0 square by 2 equal to a x minus x0. So equation we are having v square equal to v0 square plus 2a x minus x0. So here by that method also we able to receive all these three kinematic equation of the motion for constant acceleration using mathematical method, using the calculus method. Advantage of this method is that it can be used for motion with non-uniform acceleration also, because while we are integrating, so for non-uniform acceleration, by applying the limit of acceleration, same way we able to get the equations. Now let us take another example. A ball is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 20 meters per second from the top of a multi-story building. The height of the point from where the ball is thrown is 25 meters from the ground. How high will the ball rise and how long it will be there the ball hits the ground? Here let us take acceleration of gravity g equal to 10 meters per second square for simplicity purpose. So let us calculate. Here let us take the y-axis is a vertically upward direction with 0 at the ground. So here initial velocity is given 20 meters per second, and as the ball is thrown vertically upward, so the acceleration would be based on the acceleration due to gravity in the reverse direction, because if the ball is moving downward side, then positive acceleration due to gravity would be there, but while here the ball is throwing upward side, so that is opposite direction is there, so acceleration would be minus g, that is equal to minus 10 meters per second square. And as is thrown upward side, after reaching a certain distance, the ball is moving downward side towards the ground. So we can say that its final velocity would be 0 meters per second. So here let us use the equation from kinematic equation, v square equal to v0 square plus 2a x minus x0. But here that is a vertical line we are defining with the y. As you can see in the diagram, we have defined height of building 25 centimeter from where the ball is throwing at upward side. So the distance we have defined y minus y0. So let us place these values over here, and we are having equation v square equal to v0 square plus 2a y minus y0. Final velocity v is 0. Initial velocity is 20 meters per second. Acceleration is minus 10, y minus y0 as it is. So by placing these values, we are having the equation y minus y0 equal to 20 meter. Now to solve that equation, we can follow two methods. Let us take first method. In that method, we are going to split the path in two parts, A to B and B to C. A to B, that is the upward motion of the ball. That ball is moving upward side from the height of the building. So A to B, that is a path of the upward motion. Now, after reaching at position B, the ball is moving downward side towards the ground of the earth at point C. So here, initially calculate the time taken T1 and T2. Velocity at reaching B, the ball, at 0. So let us take another equation from kinematic equation. V equal to V0 plus AT. Final velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 20. Acceleration is minus 10 and T is a T1. So from that, we able to get the time T1 equal to 2 seconds. Here this is the time required to move that ball from A to B. Now from B point, after reaching at the height, the ball now falling towards the ground falls freely under the acceleration of gravity. Now with that, the ball is moving in the negative y direction. So we can use the equation x equal to x0 plus v0t plus 1/2 at square. Instead of x, here we are having the y direction. Notation we have taken y. So this equation became y equals to y0 plus v0t plus 1/2 at square. Here we are having y0 is 45 meter as the height of this building is 25 plus 20 meter distance is covered, which we have calculated earlier, that is y minus y0 equal to 20, and ball is moving with the 25 meter from the ground. So 20 plus 25, it would be 45. Final position y equal to 0. Initial velocity v0 is 0. A equals to minus 10 meter per second square. By applying all the values, we are having T2, that is a 3 second. So total time taken by the ball before hits the ground is T1 plus T2. T1 is the time while ball is moving upward side from A to B, and while that ball is coming towards the ground, that is a B to C, 3 second time is required. So total 5 second duration is required. So here the 5 second duration is required to hit the ground. Now let us take another method. Let us follow another method to calculate the time. The total time taken also can be calculated by noting its coordinates of initial and final position of the ball with respect to its origin. So here y equal to y0 plus v0t plus 1/2 at square, in which let us take y0 25 meter, the height of the point where the ball is thrown upward side is given in the example. The coordination y0 is 25. Final position y, that is a 0 meter. Initial velocity, let us take 20 meter per second, through which the ball is moving upward side. For that, acceleration is minus 10 meter per second square. So final time t equal to 0 equal to 25 plus 20t plus 1/2 minus 10t square. So we are having the equation 5t square minus 20t minus 25 equal to 0. Now let us calculate t by using the equation minus b plus or minus under root delta by 2a, and delta equals to b square minus 4ac. By having that equation, solve the equation and we are able to get the time t equal to 5 seconds. So here from the second method also we able to get the 5 second time duration is required to reach the ball at the ground. This second method is better here since we do not have to worry about the path of the motion under which the constant acceleration is available. Clear? Here we are going to end this session. Hope you understood. Thank you.